everyone. I want to pick up where we left off with working with a StandardScaler and k-nearest neighbors regressor. So the last thing, and we had introduced the StandardScaler object, import StandardScaler, and we had created a StandardScaler. Now so we're going to use it to transform the data. I'm going to split the data into features and target before I'm scaling it, so that the target does not get transformed. The reason for that is I want to be able to interpret my predictions in terms of the original values. So I'm splitting this into something called X and something called Y. Y is the target and X is the features, and that's standard. I am going to fit transform on X. It tells me that I don't have a new DF. I know that at some point in this notebook I defined new DF up here, but I'm guessing that it's not in the memory right now. So let me go up to kernel, restart the kernel, and run up to the selected cell. And that runs all the code from the top of the notebook down to this current cell. And that fixed my issue. I can tell that this executed because now I see a number next to the cell. Because I'd like to see what the scaled version of X looks like. So I could do X standard.head, and it tells me that the NumPy array has no attribute head. When we did this fit transform, that what it output was a NumPy array. And I want it to be a data frame. So I will go back and just wrap this in a pd.dataframe command so that the output is turned into a data frame, and I will run this cell again. And now I should be able to do xstandard.head because I explicitly cast this into a data frame. Okay, that looks good except for one thing. It looks like I lost my column headers, and those had useful information. I can make my columns be the same as my X columns, but I'll do a copy for good measure so I don't have any potential memory issues. I'm going to run this one more time, and now if I do xstandard.head, I get something like what I was expecting. You can see the impact of the StandardScaler on this. You can see, for instance, that we used to have numbers of bedrooms that were in the thousands, and now we have numbers that are scaled so that they're like 0, 1, 2, 3. But remember, what that means is standard deviations above or below the mean. So this first observation is negative. It's not an error. All it tells us is this observation was below the average value for this column.